What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another haul video. So I went ahead and done the other haul video earlier today. Did not know that my schedule would allot me enough time, or if I was getting anything else today. But as fortune has shined down on me, I did get some more pickups today. And so got two of these big boys. Both of these are from two different YouTube auctions and two different sellers on the YouTube that I had purchased from. And so was not sure when these would come in, because if you haven't all noticed, there's this little thing that's slowing down the postal system. And so it says, hey, it's going to get here one day. Normally that means it's a day or two later after that. Before we dive into those boxes, I do want to make sure that you're smashing that like button, hitting the subscribe button. And if you like videos like this, be sure to hit that bell notification so that when videos like this drop, randomly usually, that you'll be one of the first people to know. I do also want to make a plug for our 400 subscriber giveaway. So we have several giveaways going on right now. If you have any questions on those, you can hit me up on IG. I would probably do better maybe explaining it to you that way. But we have the 400 subscriber giveaway, and I did make an announcement. The 400 subscriber giveaway has been going on for a while now. All you have to do is go to the 400 subscriber giveaway announcement video. It's a while back, so you have to scroll back through, leave a comment that says I want to win or I want to win on there. Be subscribed to the channel, and that's it. That's all you have to do in order to qualify for those prizes that are shown in that video. I additionally put out another giveaway announcement today for this little bad boy right here, X-Men 266 Newsstand, which is the second appearance of Gambit. And all you have to do for that is the video that I dropped earlier today. Leave a comment, hopefully a positive one. Earlier, also got to be subscribed to the YouTube. If I hit 1,000 subs, live again. And this is the first time I've ever done this. I've been able to go live twice in one day. It's kind of random like that. But such as it is, here I am. And so on the other giveaway, do have to hit 450 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the month, and then also 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. And have been getting quite a few subscribers already. So I do appreciate everybody that is sharing that little tidbit of information and putting themselves in line to win the X-Men 266. So, yay, lots of papers, yay. But I do always appreciate good packaging. Sometimes, because if you'll notice, like this box right here, this box has been through the ringer, so to speak. So hopefully it is packaged well. So this first box that we're opening up, I got from Big Will. So Big Will, if you don't know, also is doing some mystery boxes. Actually, I think a friend of his is doing them, but he is kind of heading it up. And so what's up, Perry? Lurking? Probably twerking. But so Big Will's doing a mystery box, so check him out if you're interested in purchasing a mystery box. But he was doing an auction after he went to Huntsville Comic Con. He came back with some stuff to auction. I think he was also making some room in his collection to get some more and some different books. And so I picked these up from him. So Wolverine 23. Wolverine 23, a little reflective cover there, Steven Spot. But 21. So these filled in a bunch of holes that I had in that Wolverine Volume 1 early part of the set. Typical Tuesday. For some people, maybe it is. Maybe it is. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Then we got Wolverine 20. And that's Acts of Vengeance tie-in. That's why you see Tiger Shark there. Wolverine 19. Him fighting Tiger Shark. Yeah, it rhymes. That's the only thing I can rhyme. Unfortunately, it does produce this thought in my head of Perry actually twerking. So hopefully you were not watching this video while you're eating or having recently ate. Otherwise, you risk ad nauseum. Then we've got Wolverine number 18, number 16. He was selling these as a lot, and so some of these I already had. Wolverine 15. But Wolverine's one of those characters, and I'll have a I guess a good plug for Thunder God Comics, who's on YouTube. Will be hosting an auction on Thursday night, and I will be on there. And so these extras that I have, I will probably be getting rid of them then. Wolverine 14, 13, 12. Of course, Flash by Night. Well, hey, Big Will heard his name. You know, well, you hear your name, you're like Beetlejuice or Perry. You know, you hear your name and you just show up. I got the comics that I bought from you today, and I did mention that you were doing a mystery box. So then we got Wolverine 11. Wolverine number 9. Number 5. Number 3. Number 32. Number 31. Number 30. And Big Will, if you want to leave a comment as to whether or not you have any mystery boxes left, I did mention them, like I said, for anybody that's interested in purchasing and picking up some mystery boxes. Wolverine 29, 28, 26, 34, 36. We got 25. That's a Jim Lee cover. Dead Zone Citizen, what's up, man? Hey, look, those TMNT books that you and I were both after the other night, they are on their way to me. So I am doing a video when they get here. And they're actually coming in 3 boxes. There were so many TMNT books on Mike Rogers, for those of you who might have been on that auction that night. Dead Zone Citizen and I mostly, and then Adrian APM jumped in at the latter part. And they were definitely some bangers, as Biggie likes to say. Big Will says more than 10. So there you go. If you're interested, hit him up. Wolverine 24. It's another Jim Lee cover there. And Savage Dragon number 1. So the main series there. All right. Now, these other books that I got are from Tacoma Comics. What's going on across the pond, Gray Man? We're going across the pond. Yeah, back again. It doesn't happen regularly that I'm able to just jump on do 2 live streams in one day, but it just so happened to fall that way. I do appreciate the 6 people that are currently watching live. Tacoma Comics will sell on random auction sites. Can't go wrong with Wolverine and Star Wars crossover. Yeah, left me a little note. So it looks like he packaged up pretty good. Again, it's always a good thing, especially this day and age, because the postal system, as they have gotten busier, have gotten riskier, I think. So I picked up some more Wolverine from him, as well as I picked up some Star Wars, huge Star Wars. Let me see right here. A terrible attempt. So there you go. So, got a huge Star Wars and Wolverine lot. We've got, first off, Star Wars number 5 from the Marvel series, and this is a Whitman variant. So the Whitman variants oftentimes would have these white blocks for the Marvel books. On the DC books, DC let them put the Whitman logo on there, not so much for the Marvel, but they would have a lot of times either these diamonds and this to signify that this was indeed a reprint of the original. Now, it's reprinted from the original, but it's not actually that much older. And in this particular case, it actually says reprint here, which is always helpful. Now, this is a big book. To Tacoma's credit, he did say that this is not going to be a very high-grade book. It is a big appearance, however. So this is Knights of the Old Republic number 9. This is the first appearance of, oh boy, really? His name, Steven Spock. It's like YouTube produces an algorithm when I mention people's names that they all of a sudden show up. I thought about you earlier. I was showing this one right here. Got a little reflective cover right there. Revan, first appearance of Revan. I knew I'd remember it in a minute. It is not a high-grade copy, but it is a copy nevertheless. When I was essentially out of collecting, but I was still reading comics and at that time when that came out, and so I've got all the trades, but I didn't have the single issues back then. This is the first appearance of somebody else related to the Mandalorians, the Knights of Old Republic number 7. Then we've got Star Wars number 50. This is the first appearance of somebody. This is from the Marvel era, original Marvel era, I guess you should say now. Then we got Star Wars Episode number 1, The Phantom Menace. This is Wizard Half Edition. Wizard put out these half editions that everybody would pick up back then. Some people still like to get today. Wolverine, this is Marvel Comics Presents 85. Oh, really? Huh. Cool. This is the Sam Keith era, which I'm not a huge fan of, especially when I was a kid. You know, I like definitive drawn lines, you know, but I can appreciate the art, like Bill Sienkiewicz or Sienkiewicz, depending on who you ask. But Sam Keith, much the same way. And so it's Marvel Comics Presents 85. Wolverine 43 and 44. This is back when Larry Hama was writing Wolverine. Wolverine 41, which I've got a copy, but this one actually looks to be a better copy than the one I got. And then 42, which I have the second print of, I think. No, it's the second print I don't. I already had a copy of this. So he had a Wolverine line. I had, again, like with Big Wheels, I had some, but not most of them. So that's why I still chose to pick them up. Wolverine's a character. You can pretty much sell those on the cheap. Silvestri's covers. Yeah, definitely. And, you know, with these, you know, this is back when they were kind of making it out that maybe Sabretooth was Wolverine's dad. And this is an early appearance of Cable. He wasn't doing, this is when they were starting to do a lot of those crossovers with him and the X titles. Then this is the follow-up to that. We got Wolverine 40. There's Albert. And then 39 with a little LCD. I know Albert recently made an appearance in the Iron Man 2020. Has anybody been reading that? I haven't heard any good stuff. I'm not a big Iron Man fan in the first place. But I know that they were doing Machine Man and all that other kind of stuff. What's going on? Hi, Leia. Thank you for stopping by, sir. And then we've got Kanan, number 12. Great Mark Brooks cover. Good series. Of course, the big boy book in this is 1 and in particular 6. I've just got a copy of 6 on the dirt cheap. I'm talking about dirt cheap. If anybody's like those, but then we got Star Wars 21. It's the first appearance of one of the troopers there. Got Star Wars Adventures from IDW, number 6, featuring Rose Tico. So this is the B cover, but this is Rose Tico, if anybody likes that character, her first appearance in comics. He also had a second copy of Star Wars Phantom Menace, the Wizard Edition. This one does have the COA with it as well. It's just not in the original holder like that one does. So. The other one was, I mentioned earlier, Star Wars Boba Fett, Bounty on Barracuda. And right, so back in the Dark Horse days. Then we got Jabba the Hutt, the Hunger of Princess Nappy. Nappy head. Mark Brooks, I did get an email about that. Have any Brooks get signed? You know, Mark Brooks is, I really like his stuff. I like his Rogue stuff from X-Men Legacy. I've got the Psylocke cover, really nice looking cover. The only deal is that to me, when I get a book signed, I really like the experience of meeting the artist, getting a picture with them or the writer, and the whole experience of that. So, you know, sending them off to CGC, you don't get that. Plus, then I have to trust CGC, which I'm not back to the point of doing just yet. But yeah, I mean, there are plenty of Mark Brooks covers that I've got that I would if I was going to send them, that I could send them. Jango Fett, Age of the Republic, number 1. That's a one-shot. Then we got Star Wars Age of Resistance Special. This is Greatest Moments variants. Arjuna, there is no try. And that is title of that. Then we got Grand Moff Tarkin. One shot. Heir of the Empire, number 2. Then we've got Heir of the Empire, number 5. As well as number 6. And so I just picked up Heir of the Empire, number 1 off of M&M Comic Sales on IG. Picked that up last week, and it is headed its way to me, which is the first appearance in comics of Mara Jade and Admiral Thrawn. Yeah, that's the bad thing about it. Now, there are some people, you just got to keep your ear to the ground on some. Now, if you're interested in Clayton Crane, anyone, go to his IG page, and he's got a long laundry list of places that he's going to be. There are a couple that are near me, one in Covington, Louisiana, and one in Baldwin, Mississippi. Like I was mentioning earlier, not sure how or who chooses his location spots. He was in Memphis, Tennessee, bigger locale, nicer store that he was going to be in or was in. Just not sure how he handles all that, because Baldwin, Mississippi, that shop there is like, okay. So, but if you're interested in Clayton Crane, that is one that is doing some there. William Smallwood, thanks for joining us today. I do like Clayton Crane's Infinity Signature. I've got a Thanos with him and Cosmic Ghost Rider that I got Donnie Cates and him done last year. And I'm going to probably get him to do some more for me. Planning on getting to Crane in North Carolina, Mississippi date. No, he's not going to be in. He's going to be in Mississippi in August. He's going to be here this month. Flash by Night. He's going to be in Covington, Louisiana. I'm not sure where he's going to be at in conjunction to Alabama. Which one would be actually closer to you? Because you could go down to Mobile and cut your way all the way across over there to Covington. Because aren't you in Montgomery? But anyhow, Baldwin, Mississippi is the place I'm going. It's about 3 hours. Clayton, and he does some awesome work. Seems to be kind of an introvert, but once you get to talking to him and stuff, he's a really nice guy. and does some great stuff. X-Force from back in the day. I always got to mention a little Valiant. Don't have any Valiant comics today, so I'll tell you a Valiant fact that Clayton Crane's first work was in Valiant Comics and Shadow Man towards the end of that second run. So, hoping to go ahead and get one of those, maybe get him to sign that. I got him to do a Rye sketch cover for me last year that I've got over there on the wall. Then we got Star Wars number 7 from the original series. Again, it's a Whitman variant. My keyboard the other night was just not quite quick enough because I wanted to clear the whole board and get all these Star Wars lots that he had available. They were discounted, and then he had a Star Wars number 1. So I only got this one. I would have paid $10 for it. Not. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it kind of makes sense. I'm like, why is he going all the way to North Carolina? But in the Mississippi date, it's August let's see here, August the 24th, I believe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Venom fan or a Carnage fan, but man, he does some. Clayton Crane done some straight up fire books with that as well. I saw him do a Ghost Rider. If any of y'all remember the Danny Ketch era of Ghost Rider and Mark Texiera, I think is how you say his last name. They did those covers, and if you remember that painted cover, it looks like almost like a Joe Jusko. Those Marvel Masterpieces cards that were done, but it was that cover. He did one like that, and he was literally painting it onto that sketch cover. I thought, my goodness, ain't no telling what he's charging. I must say that he didn't really charge all that much. Some people, I think they charge you so much that they hope people don't ask for it. But he only charged me $150. That's right, $150 to do a sketch cover. For that Rye. Whereas Tyler Kirkham was $350, and others were more. So maybe if it's a character you didn't really see a lot, because I know that Ron Lim, when I was asking him, I didn't get one from him, but when I was asking him about his prices, if you have ever talked to him before, a really nice guy, but when I was asking about his prices were higher if you requested Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet. So obviously, and I talked to him, and he confirmed that. Hello, Comic Mag Musings. Yeah, I mean, he might have just been nice and all this other kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe he was what it was. I don't know what his regular prices are, but that is what he charged me for that particular sketch cover. But Ron Lim charges more for Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos just because he said, everybody asked me for that. I want to draw something different, right? So maybe that was what the deal was. He probably didn't get as many requests to draw Rye, which he was known for when Valiant relaunched. He was one of the main artists for that series and did a lot of the Valiant covers. But maybe it's, like something different. I could see that. Yeah, and maybe just hit him up on IG and just say, hey, what's your rates for such and such? Or maybe he has it on his bio what his rates for various deals are. And I don't know if he'll be doing any at these signings. Probably depends on how busy he's going to be. I mean, if he's going to be, balls to the wall, so to speak, he probably is not going to want to take the time to do that versus these cons where you've got 2 or 3 days. You leave it there on that first day and you pick it up on the third day. Then we've got Star Wars number 8 from the original Marvel series, and that is a Whitman variant as well. Star Wars issue 9, another Whitman variant. The Bunny. These Star Wars books in Marvel, early Marvel days were so funny because Roy Thomas, who was writing it, and Howard Chaykin, I believe, is who drew. I don't know about Roy Thomas, but I've heard that Chaykin was not interested in his work there. I know that Roy Thomas had not even seen the movie and they're writing the books, and that's why some of the stuff is nowhere near canon. But it does hold a special place in certain people's hearts that like Star Wars. And of course, this bunny is one of those deals. He didn't get used in the movies, and but the new Star Wars that just came out, one of the covers is Obi-Wan and Yoda in that scene in Empire Strikes Back. Well, he's our only hope. No, there is another. And the bunny is standing in the back. And, and Yoda says, not you. No, these are the Whitman variants, comic mag musings. The Whitman variants. So these were in the packet mystery packs or multiple packs that you could buy at stores that Whitman distributed at 5 and dime stores and Woolworths and places like that. Star Wars issue number 10. Another Whitman there. Issue number 15. And this run, Craig 69 says, this is not the 69 that you were looking for. Keeping with the Star Wars theme, right? This is another 60. Everybody's looking for another 69. So Beta Ray, hello. How are you doing today, sir? Hopefully you've got your books by now or today. I know that another person had told me earlier today that they got theirs. But this series and this run was one I'm kind of soft collecting. I'd like to get a nice copy of number 1. I've got a nice copy of the first Boba Fett and the first Origin of the Mandalorian. And those are off at CBCS right now. So good. That's good to hear. And, look, I was going through some of my comics the other night and realized that I had another Iron Man, older Iron Man that I could have sold you for $1 maybe next time. Let's see. Then we got Gray Man says, got to run daily blog. All right. Well, yeah, check Gray Man out. 69. All the best folks were born in that year. Oh, okay. Well, I take it was you. Was one of them. But so the other ones, I'm not as much worried about really being super high grade, or even if it was a reprint as opposed to the original. The CBCS, they are listed as diamond reprints on my comics. Okay, well, thanks for the tidbit. And CLZ, they are it does differentiate, because some of the diamond up here in CLZ is just a direct copy. It's not necessarily listed as a reprint. So yes, they charge less than CGC. CGC is the top rung of the ladder when it comes to pricing. CBCS charges a little bit less, and then like PGX and EGS and some of the other ones charge a little bit less than that. So as far as in the community, CBCS is almost up there with CGC when somebody's willing to pay a mint for, say, a 9.8 especially, or a first appearance of somebody, or Grail or whatever you want to say. But CBCS is a little bit cheaper. This was the first time I've used CBCS for any of my book pickups. And the only reason I used them was because they were the only ones there. And so I sent off some books I had been wanting to send off, save me a little shipping by doing it from there, and sent off the Claremont books that I got signed while at that con. Then we got Star Wars issue number 4. This is from not the one that is going out now. This is the one when Marvel first got the stuff back and relaunched the Star Wars series. Then we got Star Wars: The Storms of Cryat. Not familiar with that series there. And then we've got Star Wars issue number 1, The Screaming Citadel. Looks like Doc Afra is in that one. Just stop by to be headed to the giveaway, Will. Well, if you'll do me a favor and yourself one as well, be sure to comment after this video is fully posted or the one earlier that you want to be on the giveaway, Weapon X, so I don't miss you. I noticed that some people had left comments on the video I had done previous to that. That's fine. I'm going to manually take all those down so that nobody's missed. But we will do it. Craig69, sharing immediately. LOL. Yep. And of course, for those of you who are not familiar, this is what they're talking about. I did announce today that should certain things happen in this month, that we will be giving this away. So, second appearance of Gambit, first full appearance in continuity and cover appearance, and it is a newsstand, about a 9092 standard there. Then we've got Star Wars Droids #1. This is back to the Dark Horse days. It's got a little embossed on there. So then we've got Star Wars #1. This is the Whitman variant. Like I said on the other ones, I'm not really as much worried about getting the originals as much as, except for well, now it's just really Star Wars issue #1 because I've got the Boba Fett ones. Then we got #2, same way. But this is what I was talking about, where they're just really nowhere near canon. You know, you got Darth Vader is green, Luke's and Obi-Wan's lightsabers are red, and then we've got Obi-Wan's lightsaber is red there as well. At least in this one, issue #4, we've got, and these again, all the Whitman or Diamond Price variants, whichever way you want to say it, but at least he is he is black instead of green in this. And then we've got issue #3, Chewbacca. Looks more like an 8 than a Wookiee. But, you know, back then, Star Wars, no one expected it to do as successfully as what it did. The Pope is in the house. So, what up, Pope? And yeah, old school Star Wars. Yeah, that's what we got, or some of what we got. No one expected it to do as well as it did, nor especially create the mythos that it has over all these years later. So they've kind of fleshed things out. I was always a big reader of the Star Wars books before Disney bought them out and then put all that stuff in Legends. But I really enjoyed all those books back in the day. Splinter in the Mind's Eye, Alan Foster had done that book. And if you all read that, you know that at one point Luke actually charges his lightsaber. So they were still kind of building it out at that point, fleshing things out. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. Yeah, that was Chewy. I was on Tacoma's late night show while I was in the chat, and trying to remember JoJo at what is the name of her channel? Somebody drop it in the chat if you know it. But she was saying that she had tried to get Shaken to sign a book, and he was just like indifferent to it. I was like, well, it's your work, man. You know, if you do all the when other people appreciate your work, and if it's your favorite stuff, who really cares? You know, it's the fact that this person, whatever you did, the way you drew it, at the time they read it, whatever the case is, that it really spoke to them so much so that they wanted to get you to sign it, and that should speak to you. Doesn't matter if it was your favorite work or not. But Pope asks, how have you enjoyed coming back into collecting? You seem to be excited. Well, yeah. So, you know, it's one of those deals that I'm getting my nostalgia kick for sure. And of course, I started collecting again next month, or probably this month or next will be a year ago. And I've amassed 5,300 plus comics in that amount of time. Completed all the runs because I had to start back over from scratch. But yeah, I've had a good time. Met a lot of cool people. It is a lot easier to collect now than what it was before. My pocketbook doesn't really much agree with that. I'm not sure if my wife does or not either. But regardless of that, to answer your question, yeah, I have had a good time. And Steven Spock has helped me out in my mental lapse and flicks and comics. That is, I was going to say chicks and flicks, but I knew that just didn't sound right. So, anyway, and you can imagine, you were saying something about Chewie. Yeah, you can imagine what Chewie's response to that. So I don't know if he would have been too happy with that as well. And that would have been a cool signature to get was Peter Mayhew's signature. Unfortunately, he passed away, I believe, last year. So not able to have gotten his signature. But hey, life is too short, and there's a lot of stuff that I want to scratch off the bucket list. And you know, uh, and I'm sure most of you have had this issue before as well. If you've kind of died off on your collecting and come back in, a lot of what you lean more towards is the stuff that you read as a child, right? X-Men or Spider-Man, whatever was your main deal back then, is usually what you pick up with. Now, it might not be what you stay with, but it's certainly what you pick back up with and start off with. Because back in the day, I didn't really read a lot of indie stuff, but there wasn't really a lot of indie stuff to be had. Now you got Boom Studios and Aftershocks and all these other places now that can put out good quality reading and content. And you also appreciate different things. It's just like your food. You get a different taste as you get older. Your taste buds change. Same thing for your reading. Yep. Sad but true. Sad but true. Um, and so same thing with your reading, and I have been picking up more of those, like the Something's Killing the Children and Once and Future. Uh, yeah, Vault Comics. Yep, that is another one. Mad Cave Studios. Picked up a couple of those. So yeah, there's a lot more stuff out there than what there was, or that I remember there being, because the only things that I could get off the spinner rack, or the only things that I could get at my local comic shop back then, was Marvel, DC, and then of course when Image came out and Valiant came out, they had those two as well. But anything else, not so much. I'm living my comic book vicariously through you because I can't afford all. Yeah, wife, kids. Look, I know the feeling. I've got 6 kids. 2 of them are old enough to be out there on their own, but I still have the other 4 still living with me. I am blessed in this day and age to make a pretty significant income and strayed away from debt, or stayed away, depending on how you look at it. And so there. And look, I do the same thing for other people. I see other people get these big books like Alex the Comic Hoarder or Long Box Love Affair and people like that. And I'm like, good grief, how do you afford all this stuff? And then some people might say the same thing about me. But sometimes it leads me to end up getting that book because I see them share it and I wasn't aware of it. Especially this day and age, you got like 100 million variants every time you turn around. So there's always something that you're missing. That's a good place to see it. And if you can't afford it, hey, great, you can see somebody else have fun and enjoyment with it. And if that helps you out, then all the power to it. Count Von Strange, the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. Says it's flicks and comics. That's right. Yeah, not chicks and flicks. That would be inappropriate. But yeah, so if you can live vicariously in collecting with my stuff or other people that have much bigger collections than I, then more power to you. One of the reasons why I started doing the YouTube thing, if you remember at first, going back to some of my early videos, I just showed the comics. I really didn't comment all that much, and then eventually worked my way up to doing live shows and with other people as well. So it's just kind of been a progress. And like JB likes to say, if you're not having fun, why do it? If I ever get 1,000 subs, if I ever get monetized, it really doesn't matter. I'm not needing this for my income. I'm just having fun. That's what I'm trying to do. And if I'm not having fun, which is why I quit some of the mystery boxes, because I was not having fun. Every time and it's just me, my personality, you got to your own self be true. You've got to know yourself. And in me and my personality, I buy a mystery box and I'm like, especially if I get like 50-cent box stuff, which was basically, in my humble opinion, no tomatoes, please. In my humble opinion, that's what Comic Tom's box was to me. Now he had some bangers for some stuff, like with the Wolverine 1, the Thor 1. He had some pretty good books, and for those, that's great. But and then especially for those of you who are locked in at his lower rate, that he had grandfathered everybody into. But as far as for the new rate and some of the stuff that he's been putting out, to me, it's just not worth it. I mean, I'd much rather pull that money together to buy Batman 60 like I recently did, or Batman number 8, Golden Age stuff, or pick up Moon Knight's first appearance. So I just recently being Saturday, bought Werewolf by Night. So Moon Knight's first appearance, about a mid-grade copy, 665, I'm hoping, because it is a raw book. And so I'd much rather pull my money to that. Or Batman 227, the Neil Adams famous cover, which is an homage to an earlier Detective Comics number that I cannot recall off the top of my head. But I got that signed by Neil Adams. It's graded a 6 or 6.5. My TMNT that's going to be coming in, first issue, third print, along with some other heat that Adrian APM or Dead Zone Citizen can attest to. Werewolf by Night 32. That's it. I kept. Yeah, it was. Now, it was already been graded and a little bit more Pope, I don't know that I would have got it for that. But yeah, it was under $1,000. Yeah. Matter of fact, it was $800. Don't mind telling. I don't mind hiding, putting it out to the community that things are out there, and people can say, "Hey, look, man, you got ripped off," or "Man, you got a steal." It doesn't matter to me. Either way, but if I got a deal and I can help somebody else get a deal, tell them where the deals are to be had. Do appreciate when people do that for me, so I'll do it to others as well. But yeah, and I got his third appearance in comics in a subsequent Werewolf by Night issue, and a couple weeks ago at a con. So I guess I'll work on getting his second appearance. I'll have the big 3. I'm on this Moon Knight kick lately, but I got a Tomb of Dracula number 10, which is Blade's first appearance, just a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago now. It's about a 550 copy. And so, yeah, I'd much rather pick up those books than put them on mystery boxes, where I know there's mystery boxes where there's like huge chasers, and then everybody's like, hey, this is the book to have. This is the book to have. And you got 1 in 1,000 chance of making it. And that's great, whatever. But I'd much rather, if I'm going to get a mystery box, get at least my value and maybe a book that's twice the value. And I'm happy. So I'm not that hard to please. Don't ask my wife about that. But so not that, yeah, Alex is a baller. Yeah, I mean, he's got some huge books. I had been pricing them out recently, just don't have that. Yeah, and you can get them for, I tell you, I was on, Elite Comics on IG was doing a deal with, and I'll think of their name in just a minute, but after I purchased that raw copy of Werewolf by Night, I seen that they had one that was a 4.0 graded for $700 plus shipping. And mine is probably a 6 or 6.5. It is raw, so I do. But that's $800, and that's shipped and properly insured. So Probably could have got them to come down on that, but yeah, man, it's getting pricey. Remember passing. I know, and then that's when you go. Here we go. Now we're gonna get some stuff started. The algorithm, the YouTube algorithm has now shined down upon me. But yeah, and then things are getting so just like Giant Size X-Men. Those things are getting out of there, and movie drops. Of course, the reason why Moon Knight is because the whole TV announcement. But we just wait till a movie announcement gets dropped for X-Men, and Giant Size X-Men is going to go up even more because you know that at least some of those characters are going to be utilized with that. But you just keep your eyes out, and if you've kind of saved your pennies towards making those type of purchases, maybe sometimes you can act upon them. Like I purchased extra Giant Size X-Men #1. Some of you might already been aware of this if you've been watching some of the previous videos, but at my comic shop for $300. And so someone reached out, which screaming deal. That book, if I had it cleaned and pressed, probably would have been a 3.5 or a 4. So if you check out what 3.5s and 4s go for on eBay, you can see what I'm talking about. But somebody in the community reached out to me and said, "Hey, I saw that you had an extra one on one of your videos. Would you be willing to sell it?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll sell it for this amount." And we made the deal, and I mailed it off to them. Hopefully by now they have gotten it. They were out of the country, so that was an experience in of itself. But it is properly insured, so if they crush it, we are still both good. Yeah, it is spiking up there. Thor number 5 is another big spike. I picked it up. I think it was on my pull list. Maybe I'd asked for it, so I got it pulled, and I sold number 1 through 5, and I thought I was making a mint. And now I wish I would have waited a couple of weeks, but I had 1 through 5 or 2 through 5. Sorry, 2 through 5, and all first prints. Sold it for $100 ship. That's a pretty good deal. They were 9.6, 9.8 candidates, all of them, and so that was a pretty good deal. But my goodness, I could have waited just a little bit, or sent the 5 in particular, which was the A cover, off to get graded. I could have definitely. Did you sell it to? No, I didn't sell it to a Nigerian prince. Although I have had those Nigerian princes call me about some money. I need to check on that. He sent you a check, and that's right. That's right. How'd you know that? How'd you know that? No, it was not a Nigerian prince. They were members of the community that had been in other auctions that I have been in, and they sent it through PayPal. Didn't know no Nigerian princes there. So that worked out pretty good. And I could have held, as a matter of fact, so I was on the way to the Huntsville Comic Con and had it. I was going to show it to Big Will and ask him his opinion on what that book might go for as far as grade wise. And because he's done some grading videos and the like, and he was going to be at the Huntsville Comic Con. So they messaged me. We struck the deal. I told them I would wait because they said, "Well, hey, I'll have my money together Thursday." So told them I would wait. Well, while I was in line at Claremont's, I got to talking to other X-Men fans because, they're getting Claremont signatures. More than likely, they're X-Men fans, right? Well, I had it right there in my wagon. So I said, "Hey, show you this." And, oh, man, the dude that was herding the X-Men or the signatures for Claremont said, "Well, I'll give you this much for it." And it was more than what the other guy had offered for it. And I told him I wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah. No doubt Nigerian princes were hurt in the taping of this live stream. That is correct. That is correct. It might have hurt their feelings that they didn't get my money, but other than that, no. But the guy offered, I said, "Look, I've already told this guy that I would sell it to him for this." And so passed on it. So, but you don't run across those kind of deals. I mean, who will just walk into an LCS that doesn't get much action, which would classify mine? You go into no action, and then there's a Giant Size X-Men hanging on the wall. You just don't see it all that often. But if you not wasting your money on mystery boxes that are 1 in a million chance. And again, this is just my personal opinion, and everybody's entitled to that. Some people like just the mystery boxes. Spider-Man booth is one of those I would classify. Now, if you love variants and you love Spider-Man, it might be your thing, but it's just not me. Because I've gotten down that variant rabbit hole, especially when I was doing my X-Men runs. And I still buy variants, so don't get me wrong, but I mean, that's all that is the hype variants. And so I bought one pack of 2 Spider-Man booth boxes, and that was it for me. David Ewing says, what's up, everybody? Appreciate you stopping by. Just rambling now that I've shown the comics that came in, just kind of rambling about various things. But yeah, it's a fun deal to be able to see these comics, and it's some kind of satisfaction in being able to like the Valiant stuff. Nobody likes Valiant, it seems. I've got 4 or 5 long boxes of the stuff, the gold variants and the like. You know, those Valiant comics, some of them have got a little heat on them still, like a Harbinger 1, because it's so hard to get in high grade because the book splits. I digress, but some of them got some heat on them still, but not very many of them anymore. But back in the 90s, those things were very, very pricey, and I never could afford that. Like the X-Men. That's why I had classic X-Men. That's why you had Marvel Tales and some of the other reprints of the stuff, because, I mean, if you were going to buy anything, you had to go through Mile High. You had to mail it off and go through Mile High Comics. That's how I got my first Moon Knight #1. But, no X-Men 1s by no means. There were a lot more shops back then, but they were just selling all the hype that Wizard had built up. It was none of the X-Men 1s or X-Men 2s and so on and so forth. So, I thought, man, I'll never be able to get that. And when I got back into collecting, I don't even remember who the gentleman was or what show it was that I was watching, but if I did, I'd give him credit for it. But he said that, hey, I didn't think I'd ever reach my goal of getting all the X-Men. I go, whoa, you got all the X-Men? No way. And so I said, well, I'm going to try to do that. And it just seemed like deal after deal, opportunity after opportunity presented itself. And the next thing you know, I saw it in sight and was able to capitalize and get it. Just happened to do that. I will concur with Agu. Hit the like, peeps. Hit the like. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button and the subscribe button. Remember that I am giving away this puppy for if I hit 450 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 on IG. And within the month of August, I will be giving this away. If those of you who were on my 300 subscriber live stream, you notice that I gave way more than I had originally intended to, and it will probably happen again. I do have another separate 400 subscriber giveaway, which is the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the OG team, Carnage Eyes, 9.8 Captain Marvel, and early Venom appearance, and forget the Amazing Spider-Man issue. But I've got those, which you can check that out, entered to win. So there are a lot of giveaways going on. Do appreciate all of you watching and helping with that. So if either one of you all could share this video and my other videos so that we can get to those goals quicker, I will certainly appreciate it, and maybe you'll get benefited as well. So I was looking this up here. Pope says, I am close to a long run on X-Men, need X-Men 112 and 116. So I was looking back and trying to remind myself which issues those were here. 116. Yeah, 116 is there in the Savage Land. Yep, I got that one. I bought graded offline. Let's see, 112. 112. I should recognize that one. That one is my birthday book. So if any of you watched Rob Boswell, he did a video here lately about birthday books, and we did it yesterday. And this is one of mine. That's X-Men 112, August 1978. So yes, I am fixing to have a birthday, and I will be getting 1 year older. Let's see, where did I buy that one at? Whoa, I bought that right there at my LCS. So like in CLZ, I keep up with when I bought it and where I bought it at. That way, if I get ready to sell it, I won't be losing money intentionally or unintentionally. I guess if I lose money intentionally, be fine. If you're going backwards, like forward to the higher issues, Pope, anything constructive to do, I done it, and so there you go. Sometimes we hit lucky like that, but I would go all the way through the burn run would be a good way to stop. Which, if you're going back that way, so that would be through 143, and so that would be through the burn and Claremont run. That's a good place to stop. Right after Cyclops quits the team. I'm not sure if you're talking about going back the other way. Of course, 94 would be the first issue after Giant Size X-Men. Oh, okay. Oh, you'd have 94 through 450. Okay. Well, that's probably a good place to stop because 450 in the newer era, that 450, that's X-23 early appearance when she, I guess, joins the team or is shown in an Uncanny X-Men book. A lot of the stuff, I'm not a real big fan of the stuff that happened after 450. You know, it goes to 544, the first volume does. Okay, yeah, I get 451 and stop. That's her other appearance. So, yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to go all the way, yeah, just go all the way. But I mean, if you're looking for another opportune place to stop, you know, John Byrne's run would be a good place, just in my humble opinion, since you asked. But yep, that one, the Colossus, I bought that one off of eBay for fairly cheap. It was one of those auctions that was ending at a weird time on a Sunday, and I guess there just wasn't that much action on it. And it's like a 7 or 7.0. It was already graded, and so didn't pay all that much for it, and got to combine shipping because I bought it with another book. And so I'm always looking for deals and trying not to spend too much if I don't have to, because I mean that if I don't spend it inadvertently on one book, I can always spend it on another. As you can see, these things come in every day. They multiply like rabbits or mutants. So I do appreciate everybody hanging out. We're almost at the 1 hour mark. So again, if you haven't already done so, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and even the bell notification if you like to know when videos like this drop. I normally don't go live in 2 times in one day, but hey, on the rare occasion, you would be one of the first people to know. Be sure to check out the other videos, the IG post, and the like to see how you can enter to win this bad boy and help me get there. I do appreciate everything that y'all do. Keep safe out there. Until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.